we are going to study the new chapter, Understanding Quadrilaterals. Under this chapter, we are going to study about curves and the types of curves. So, first of all, look, we are going to define curve. Can you say that what is a curve? How we can draw a curve? So, just draw a figure. Suppose that this is your pen or pencil and you draw a figure. When you draw a figure without lifting your pen, when you draw a figure, suppose that here again, when you draw a figure starts from this point and without lifting your pen, you continuously draw the figure and stop at some point. Or when you draw a figure starts from some point without lifting your pen or pencil and finishes at the same point. Then all these figures, these two figures are said to be curved. Without lifting your pencil, that means पेंसिल को बिना उठाए एक बार जहां पर हम पेंसिल या पेन को रख दिए फिर वहीं से फिगर ड्रॉ करना शुरू करते हैं, पेंसिल उठाना नहीं है और फिगर को फिर से दोबारा ड्रॉ भी नहीं करना है। एक बार जब हम पेंसिल जिस पॉइंट पर रखे उस पॉइंट से हम पेंसिल को बिना हिलाए कोई भी फिगर ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं, चाहे वो क्लोज हो चाहे वो ओपन हो। तो इस तरह के फिगर को हम कर्व कहते हैं। So we can draw the curve as, we can define the curve as the figure drawn by pen or pencil without lifting your pen or pencil is said to be a curve. Now when you look at the two figures drawn by us, then we can define the curve as a figure drawn without lifting your pencil from the paper or without retracing the figure is called a curve. So that means when you draw a figure and starts from some point and it finishes at different point, then this curve has two end point. In that case, this curve is said to be open curve. And suppose that when you start a figure drawing from some point and it finishes at the same point, then this figure is said to be closed curve. So we can categorize the curve into two types, open curve and closed curve. Just look at the definition of both the curves. So the two types can be defined as open curve, a curve which has no end points, which has two end points, and when it does not encloses the area within itself is called an open curve. As we know that when we start a drawing from this point without lifting our pencil and finishes at some different point, that means this curve has two end points, this and this. Again in this curve also has two end points, this curve also has two end points. That means all these three are open curves. Now look at the another definition about the closed curve. A curve which has no end point and when it encloses the region or area is called a closed curve. Just look at the figure. Suppose that we start our drawing from this point and without lifting your pen or pencil and again you reach at the means the finishes at the same point, then we get a closed curve, and this figure has no end point. Since here these three curves have no end point, that means and all the three has some area inside it, so why it is said to be closed curve. Now we are going to look at the simple closed curve. When a curve is said to be simple, and then when a closed curve is simple, then it is said to be a polygon. So when a simple closed curve is said to be polygon, just look after it. Now here we are going to look at the simple curve and the non-simple curve. When a curve is said to be simple, or when a curve is said to be non-simple, that means, look at the definition, a curve that changes its direction but it does not intersect itself. That means when we draw a curve like this, means we start drawing a curve from this point and finishes at this point. Then here the direction it changes here, but the curve, the lines does not intersect anywhere. That means the curve does not cross itself, does not intersect, does not cut itself. Then we say that this curve is a simple curve. Or we can say that, suppose that we draw like this a curve and finish at the same point, but do not cross itself anywhere. In that case, this curve is said to be a simple curve. So simple curve may be open or may be closed. यहाँ पर देख रहे हैं कहीं भी ये जो पार्ट है कर्व का एक दूसरे को कट नहीं कर रहा है, यहाँ भी कट नहीं कर रहा है, बस ज्वाइन हो रहा है यहाँ पर. दैट मीन्स ये सभी सिंपल कर्व हैं. नाउ लुक एट द नॉन सिंपल कर्व. द कर्व दैट क्रॉसेस इट्स पाथ. इट मीन्स द कर्व intersects itself while changing its direction. Suppose that we try to draw a curve. We start drawing from here and finishes at the different point. So this is a curve, but you can find that the path of the curve crosses itself. So why? जब हम यहाँ से फिगर ड्रॉ किए और कंटिन्यूअसली ड्रॉ करते हुए उसके ही लाइन को बढ़ाते हुए, मीन्स कर्व पाथ को बढ़ाते हुए जब हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं तो देख रहे हैं कि रास्ते में कटिंग दिख रहा है हमें, मीन्स क्रॉस हो रहा है, तो क्रॉस करते हुए हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. इस तरह का फिगर नॉन सिंपल कर्व कहलाता है. इट ऑल्सो मे बी क्लोज्ड और मे बी ओपन, जस्ट लाइक दिस. जस्ट लाइक दिस मीन्स जब हम यहाँ से फिगर बनाना शुरू किए और बनाते बनाते इसके पाथ को बढ़ा रहे हैं, तो ये पाथ रास्ते में अपने पुराने पाथ को कट करते हुए आगे फिर उसी पॉइंट पर जाकर बंद हो जा रहा है. तो इस तरह से देख रहे हैं कि द पाथ क्रॉसेस इटसेल्फ. दैट मीन्स यह कर्व जो है वो सिंपल कर्व नहीं है. तो नॉन सिंपल कर्व भी ओपन हो सकते हैं और क्लोज्ड हो सकते हैं. तो हमने यहाँ देखा कि कर्व जो है कब सिंपल कहलाएंगे, कब सिंपल नहीं कहलाएंगे. तो ये जो कर्व है ये ओपन कर्व है और ये जो कर्व है ये सिंपल क्लोज्ड कर्व है. ये सिंपल क्लोज्ड कर्व है. अब हम लोग आगे देखेंगे कि when simple closed curve is said to be a polygon in the next video.